Yeah, that's okay. Today I didn't get the intimation previously, so I couldn't join at the time.
Okay,
So I just joined right now.
okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Starting from the beginning, and yesterday's
Okay.
recording is also not done properly.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, I.
Nothing. Nothing. Okay.
Okay. HTML basically stands for Hypertext Markup Language. So first we'll understand these two terms. What is hypertext and what is markup language? And HTML is basically used to create the web pages. Hypertext is nothing but a text that has a link within it that is generally called as a hypertext. Generally, every time when you click on any word, if it redirect into any other new web page, then it is generally called as hypertext. And markup language is nothing but another programming language that makes text more interactive and dynamic. That means we can turn the text into some images, tables, and links also. Instead of clicking on a simple word, we can, if we click on an image also, we will be able to redirect to another web page, and we can create tables and we can create links also using the markup language. So HTML comes with these two features. When we click on any word, we can redirect it to any other web page, or we can, if we click on any image or tables or any hyperlinks, we can redirect the request to any other web page. So this is the basic term for hypertext and markup language. First, let us see basic history for HTML. HTML was created by Berners-Lee in 1991, and HTML2 is the first standard HTML specification, and this is published in 1995. And HTML4 is a major version, and HTML4 version is published in 1999, and HTML5 is a current version, and this is extension to HTML4, and this is published in 2012. First, let us see the basic syntax to write a simple HTML. This is the basic syntax to write a simple HTML. Every HTML document should start with the doc type declaration, and we'll mention the doc type as HTML. And these are the important tags: HTML, body. These are the important tags. The HTML tag defines the complete HTML document, and the body tag defines the visible content. The attributes that we mention inside the body tag generally will be shown on the web page. And we can also add head element also. The head element generally describes the header part of the HTML web page. This is the basic syntax for writing the simple HTML page. But when we write the syntax, one thing we need to remember: when we write a simple HTML document, closing the tags is mandatory. Of course, when we run the HTML page, most of the browsers works properly. The code that we write in HTML works properly even if we do not close the tag in most of the browsers, but that's not the best programming practice. And in this declaration, the doc type generally defines the documentation type and HTML. So this text between the HTML tag describes the complete web document, and the text that we write in between body tags, that will be shown on the web page. And H1 defines the heading and P defines the paragraph. In our next sessions, we'll discuss in detail about different headings and paragraphs. So generally, when you write the syntax, never forget to end the tag every time. Suppose if we simply write the code like this, without closing the P tag, if you write this inside body tag, that works properly in most of the process, but that's not the best way to follow. And we can add HTML head also. After writing the HTML attribute and before we start the body content, we can write head element. Head element generally describes the metadata for the complete documentation. This is the basic syntax to write. We can add a title also when we write the head attribute, and if you want to mention the character encoding that we want to use, that we can represent using the meta attribute. HTML head elements contains the metadata, and Generally, this metadata will not be displayed on the web page. This is just to describe the encoding, and we can also define the character set also along with encoding. And HTML element generally placed after the HTML tag and before the body tag. And let us see what are the different HTML headings we have. There are totally 6 types of headings, and all these headings can be represented using these attributes h1, h2, h3, h4, h5 and h6. Using these tags we can represent different headings. H1 defines the most important heading and h6 defines the least important heading. And the importance for H2 and H3 is in the same sequence. H1 is the most important one, and then H2, H3, and the least important one is the H6 heading. So generally, when we write some code using these headings, the size and the bold is different when you see that on the web page. But generally, we cannot use, don't use headings to show the size or to represent bold or normal text. And when we write headings, browser automatically adds some empty space before and after each heading. And never use HTML headings to represent whether the text is bold or big. Generally, these headings are used by the search engines. So most probably these headings are used by the search engines to search for the content of your web page. So the recommendation is use headings only to show the document structure. Using headings is not recommended to change the text either big or bold size. Generally, headings show the document structure. And let us see how to write paragraphs. Generally, the complete HTML document we can divide into different paragraphs. To write paragraph in HTML, we use the P attribute in HTML. And this is the basic syntax to write a simple paragraph using P attribute. Whatever the content that we want to show as a paragraph, that we can show in between the P tag. And generally, when we write paragraphs in a HTML document, the browser automatically adds one empty line before and after each paragraph. For headings, the browser automatically adds some empty margin, but for paragraphs, the browser automatically adds empty lines automatically. And generally, the number of lines that you mention, that the number of lines in a paragraph, when you show the text of paragraph on a web page, the number of lines depend on the window size. After showing the text on the web page, if you minimize the window, then the number of lines will be automatically changed according to the size of the window. And if you are showing your HTML document on large screens, or if you're showing it on a small screen like iPad, or when you resize the window, then automatically the display will be automatically changed for paragraphs. The number of lines and the display will be automatically resized according to the size of the window. And while writing the paragraph, if we add any empty spaces or if we add any extra lines, then that will be omitted by the browser. The output cannot be changed by adding the extra spaces or extra lines in the paragraph. And the browser will automatically remove the extra spaces and extra lines when the page is displayed on the web page. But we have option using pre-tag. We can preserve the empty spaces and lines also, so that we will discuss when we discuss the example. So these are the basic properties for paragraphs. When we write any paragraph, if we add any extra lines, if we add any extra spaces, and when that paragraph is shown on the web page, then automatically browser will automatically delete all the empty spaces and extra lines. Even if you add one extra line, that will be treated as just only one single space only. Even if you add 2 to 3 empty spaces in between words, or if you add 2 to 3 lines in between each statement, every extra space and every extra line will just be treated as just one single space only. So these are the basic properties for paragraphs. So first let's see one simple example how to write a simple HTML and execute this. This is the basic syntax to write a simple HTML page. Every HTML page should start with doc type declaration, and then we need to mention the attribute HTML, and then we need to mention the attribute body. If we want to write any header information, that we can write after the HTML, and before the body attribute we can mention the head element also. And this is the syntax to add the header, and this is the syntax to add a simple paragraph. Now I'm going to execute this. So automatically the header H1 will be shown as bold, but if you add other headings, I'm going to add other headings from H1 to H6. This is the second heading H2, and third heading H3. So that will be represented using the attribute H3. And H4. And then H5. And then H6. And now let us see how these headings are displayed on web page. I'm going to delete this paragraph as of now. Now let us see how these headings will be displayed on web page. So if you observe, the boldness and the size of the headings will be changed automatically. So generally, if we want to change the text size, or if we want to show the text in bold size, we can use H1, but we can use the headings, but generally that is not the recommended approach. So generally we use headings to show our document structure. That means when we are adding some information, when we want to show some information onto the web page, we'll add main heading, and after that we'll add the subheading. So generally H1 will be used to add the main heading. Suppose you are writing if you are developing a simple web page to explain about HTML itself, then HTML will be the first heading, and that you can represent using the H1 attribute, and the other subtopics like HTML paragraphs and HTML headings and HTML images, links, and all these subtopics you can write using the H2 tags. And inside the H2 tag, if you want to show the each element syntax, so for that you can use H3 tags. Like that, generally headings are used to recommend to show you the document structure, but not to resize the text or not to change the text into bold. And let us see how we can write a paragraph. We have already seen how to write a simple paragraph, and let's see some more details about this. First, I'm going to add a simple paragraph. And here I'm adding some extra spaces. But when this paragraph is shown on web page, this extra paragraph will be automatically removed. So this extra space is automatically removed. We can write more number of lines for a paragraph also. Now I'm adding some more lines to this paragraph. And after this, I have added 2 extra line spaces, and then I'm adding one more statement. Now when this paragraph is shown on the web page, automatically these extra spaces and extra lines are automatically removed by the browser screen. And when you resize the browser window, When the browser window is resized, of course, in this we have only small text. If you add any more text to this, and when you resize the browser window, in this text we can show in a single line. But if we add some more lines, and when you resize the window, the number of lines in that paragraph will vary automatically when you resize the window. And if you execute the same HTML in smaller screens or larger screens, then automatically, according to the window size, the number of lines in the paragraph also will automatically changes. And in HTML, to preserve the empty spaces and extra lines, we can do it using the pre-tag also. When we add pre-tag, then automatically the extra lines and empty spaces will be automatically preserved. So this is how headings and paragraphs can be shown on the web page. And let us see how we can add links to this web page. To add a simple link, we can add hrefs attribute, and the corresponding website link we can mention. And we can give a text name to this. Now when you click on this word, then the web page will automatically move to this google.com web page. And generally, when we are writing any attributes, we need to mention the attribute value in between double quotes. Of course, we can omit this quotes also. That works in some browsers, but that will not work for all of the browsers. When you mention any attribute value, mentioning the value in double quotes is important, but for some browsers we can omit the double quotes also. And later on in our coming sessions, we'll discuss in detail how we can add links and how we can add images and how we can convert an image into a web link. So we'll discuss the things in detail. For today, I'm going to stop this session. And when we discuss the attributes, we'll discuss about the browser support also. So generally, some of the attributes are deprecated in HTML5 version, and some of the attributes does not work properly in different browsers. So I'll show you the example for Chrome browser, Internet Explorer, and Mozilla Firefox. After starting with the examples, every example I'll show using Chrome and the Internet Explorer and Mozilla Firefox also. For today, I'm stopping the session. In our tomorrow session, we'll discuss in detail about the other topics in HTML. Sayi, you want
Okay,
to
ma'am.
discuss any more things?
Yeah, actually, I would like to ask you a few details about the course. So you're going to teach us up to jQuery or JavaScript. I'm not sure up to what you're going to teach after HTML, CSS, or no?
After HTML, CSS, JavaScript,
Okay.
and then jQuery and AngularJS.
Okay. What is the approximate weeks to complete the course?
I need to calculate actually. I have teach
Okay.
jQuery completely, but I didn't teach HTML, CSS. I have teached only HTML before, but CSS and JavaScript I need to calculate. I need to
Okay.
calculate.
Okay. So for the HTML, how many days are you going to take?
Most probably we can complete it in 2 months.
The only HTML?
No, 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 no. The complete
Yeah,
syllabus.
the complete course, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so I think
Why I have
okay. Can
started
you just tell
with
me?
this. If
Okay.
I simply go with paint, it taking lot of time. So I have started with PPT, so we can go fast.
Yeah, okay, sure. And one thing is finally, can you just tell me in short what is the pre-tag is used for?
Pre-tag is used to
Okay,
preserve the extra lines and empty spaces.
okay, okay, okay.
And
That
I'll give a
okay,
complete documentation also for every tag,
sure.
and I'll mention the browser support also for every tag because as a
Okay, sure.
developer, knowing the browser support is important for UI.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, man.
Okay, Sai, thank you.
Ma'am, do you cover Node.js also?
No, Node.js, I cannot. I have some basic idea, but
Yeah, okay.
not ready to teach as of now.
Okay, ma'am, okay.
And nowadays,
Ma'am,
Node.js is more
ma'am,
popular than all this.
yeah,
And of course,
Okay, fine.
AngularJS also. AngularJS also more popular now.
ma'am, can I talk now?
Yeah, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, actually, so I think if everybody is already know if everybody is already aware of HTML and CSS, right? Can we just move on to the JavaScript if that's okay for if everyone in the group is aware of both HTML and CSS, we can directly start the JavaScript, right?
Yeah, I can do that. But I need to plan one more slot for that. Not in this slot.
Okay, 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 sure, sure.
I can do that, but I need to plan for one more slot. And we'll discuss the timings about that. Because
Yeah,
you
sure.
already told that you are already aware of HTML and CSS, right?
Yeah, we are already aware of that thing. So, if everybody is aware of that thing, we can
Yeah,
start with the JavaScript.
yeah, that we can do. Okay, Sai, anything else you want to discuss?
And that's
No,
it.
ma'am.
Okay.
You're
Okay, I'm
clear.
ending the session for today, but tomorrow onwards, I can continue the session for 1 hour. And later on,
Okay,
if
ma'am.
time permits, I'll extend the session to 1.5 hours also.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, ma'am.
Okay.
At the same time from tomorrow too?
Yes, same time.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you.